Well, hello again, everybody. Surprise, by the way. Was not expecting to run Kirby Streamland again after SGDQ, but Speedman, the original runner of this game, had to drop out last minute, and I happen to know a little bit about this game, so fill in. Alright guys, before we get started, extra mode is if you ever want to go to its up select B at the same time on the title screen. Extra mode is that the sprites move a little bit faster. There are different enemies now in the screen, and the enemies do about double damage. So you have 6 hit points, and the enemies are going to do, most enemies now are going to do about 2 damage to you. Everything is just generally faster. All the boss fight, well, most of the boss fights are pretty different. But anyway, guys, let's get going in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So the first 20 seconds of the game is pretty similar to normal mode, where pretty much just hold right and jump a few times. I despawned a Bronto bird apparently. So here you're going to see me utilize something called task bidding or instant action. And what that is that whenever Kirby inhales an object or sprite, whatever you want to call it, if you spit out the object and swallow within a few frames of spitting out, you'll do something called you'll queue up your next action. Sorry. And which means when you're within a few pixels of the next object, you can instantly spit it out of your mouth. This is going to be super helpful later on when we get to Kracko and potentially DDD. We'll be doing some Kracko double hits, so 2 hits per cycle on Kracko. And then we're going to try and do some double hits on DDD as well. So here we are, we're going into the Wispy fight. Wispy in this mode does puffs like it did in normal mode, but now instead of dropping all apples, it's going to drop Gordos. Gordos in Kirby's Dream Land 1 do 3 damage, so if I get hit by a Gordo right now, like, I'm dead. So trying to avoid getting hit by the little spike balls. If we touch Wispy's face, that's 2 damage. The puffs and apples only do 1 damage, so that's a decent fight. All the boss fights in this run is completely random, so that Wispy there giving me that little bit of a luck is good. So here we go to Castle Lololo. I'll talk about queuing items here in a minute as well. So at this stage here, again, pretty straightforward. The biggest time waste early on in this run is this mini boss coming up here. If they start out on the top row, there's no way you can get to it right away. So here we have to get the blocks and dodge the Gordos. So the difference between this and normal mode is that after the block, a Gordo is going to be coming, and you gotta get out of the way. You can't kill them on the 3rd hit before the Gordo comes out, which saves about a second. So here we're gonna try and do something called Curry Kill. If you watched my run at SGDQ, I soft locked on the final or on the boss for the stage with Curry. We're gonna try and do that again just so we can get everything back up to schedule. Oh, we don't have to worry about soft locking. That's too bad. Feels bad, man. So I'm gonna take a lot of intentional damage just so I can make the fight a little bit faster. At 304, it's not bad. Yep. The Bronto birds are now black, and they actually will like heat seek after you. It's kind of dumb. Float Islands, I would say this is the hardest stage in the run. You don't want to take any damage at all in this stage, but I may take 1 or 2 because I haven't played this since SGDQ. So we'll see how this goes here. There's a couple different routes through this. Speedman probably has the fastest. So right there, what I do is that I keep a sprite in Kirby's mouth, and then when I walk over a microphone or a bomb, I can instantly swallow that item. Otherwise, I have to wait 8 frames before I can do another action again. So if I were to have swallowed or spit out that sprite that I had in my mouth, I would have had to wait and walked over the microphone. I would have had to wait 8 frames before I could swallow that microphone, which is enough time for that Bronto to come in and hit me. Because Kirby's hitbox is gigantic when he's buffed out. So here we're going to try and clip this little corner right here. If we don't, Kirby slides on his face on that plank and pretty much takes an instant 2 damage. B button did not want to register there apparently. That's fine. So these cannons don't stop shooting at all. We got this. I'm not scared. So we have to be a little bit careful about that. So the soft lock on the second boss is that if you kill the boss, if you hit the boss on the frame that it enters the door, kill the boss on the frame that it enters the door, the game doesn't register that you actually killed the boss, but the level doesn't register that you killed the boss. So the game gets confused and doesn't know what to do. So it just kind of like sits there and it's like, yeah, whatever. So you're gonna see the slow-mo of not Crack, of the Kabula fight. So we play this pretty safe here because I only had 3 health. Yeah, 505 still isn't too bad. I used to do runs of extra mode with no extra lives and 1 hit point. So understanding how that fight works is kind of fun. The shots that Kabula does, like some of them like track your movement, so you have to be a little bit careful on what you're doing. So here in Bubbly Clouds, these umbrellas now chase after you, so you can't just walk under the Waddle Doos and Waddle Dees. You actually have to break them and take the umbrella. It's a whole thing. Okay. So going into this segment's fairly the same. We're going to try and do a long jump over 2 Scarfies. It's kind of a tight jump, and it doesn't save a ton of time, but it looks kind of neat. No, we didn't get it. That's too bad. So here, coming up, we're going to try and do an enemy despawn by sprite overloading the screen. I don't know if I got it. I didn't get it. You can tell in the top left corner if that enemy is there or not, because the screen wraps around. So now we're going on to Kracko Jr. This fight's very different than normal mode. Kracko Jr. now drops cannon, or bombs rather. And you have to duck in that corner, otherwise Kirby will get hit. So, the timing for these spits are kind of weird, I guess. Especially since my B button is being a B button right now. There we go. Alright, and we're off. I don't like doing the background glitch, mainly because I like to see where I'm going. I have a pretty hard time with that block ball for accuracy, so not being able to see where I'm going behind the background makes that block ball a bit tougher for me. It does save a little bit of frames, but not much. This room here, all the stars that fall down actually damage you. They do 1 damage to Kirby, and it's all luck-based. Can't really control where the stars are going to be, which was actually a pretty decent room. So here we go, we got the Pelican of Doom, which is like a 2% chance to spawn, and it's not there. Good. I don't know what makes that Pelican despawn or spawn, but it's a thing. So here we go, we got the Kracko fight. Very, very different than normal mode fight. Kracko has 3 attacks. He can drop bombs, like he just did right there. He can do a dash like that, which is what we want for the task bit. And he can do beams like that. So we missed 1 double hit. That's not bad. We'll hit him quick just so we don't miss the cycle. So you always want to try and shoot him when he does the beams because you just never know what the next attack is going to be. Each attack that Kracko does is 2 seconds long. There we go. That's a decent Kracko fight. So basically what you need to do with the instant action is queue up that instant action and get right next to the bomb that Kracko is going to drop right away. That way you can pretty much hit Kracko instantly, and then you want to suck in the second bomb and try and hit it depending on how much health it has. If it's like towards the beginning of the fight, keep it for another queue for a task bit. Otherwise, if it's toward the end of the fight, just kill it. Stage 5, there are no health power-ups at all in this stage, so what we need to do... Come on, A button. What we need to do with this is kind of manage our health a bit, and depending on what our health situation is like after this fight, will determine what boss we go to next. So we have a boss rush right now. That fight should have been done hours ago. Since I have full health, we're gonna go to Kabula, because Kabula is the hardest boss in this run. Alright. So spikes, if we fell into that spike or hit the top spikes there, half our hit points would be gone. So since we have full bars, we'd lose 3 hit points. The Gordos in stage 5 are an instant death, so if we would have touched that Gordo, we would have just straight up died. So you're gonna see me fight Kabula here pretty aggressively. Okay. If you kill Kabula at the top of the screen does transition down, and you will actually get crushed at the top of the screen and die, and you have to redo that entire fight over again. I've lost world record runs and PBs to that. It's a pretty good time. So here, since we already queued up a task, but we don't want to do anything else. We want him to drop bombs here. Let's go, Krakow. Got it. So since we're on the right side, I'm very bad at doing task speeding on the right side of the screen. So you're probably gonna see me just do the Krakow fight normally. You're gonna see me puff up at the end of this fight. Whatever. You're gonna see me puff up at the end of this fight to despawn the sound. That's to get the screen transition to get out faster, just because this game is pretty laggy already. So there, I just cut out all the sound. So here we're going to Wispy. Since I only have 2 health, I'm gonna float over that guy real quick. If I had the 3 health still, I would have chanced it. And after Wispy, we got the DDD fight. So let's see what kind of luck we get on Wispy here. I tried to get that spit off before Wispy started puffing, because if you interrupt with Wispy's puffs, it'll take longer for the puffs to go out. So here we got the DDD fight. Okay. So we can actually manipulate DDD a bit. If we get him off the screen, we can, he was off the screen, so I couldn't hit him. Oh, we're dead. Man, no marathon without a death so far. Whatever. So what kind of luck we get now? We can actually go for, like, actual strats now. We have health. Come on. Thank you. That's not what I want, DDD. Jump! Ah. Please jump again. That's not jumping, Penguin. You're the worst. This Penguin is the worst. God. Can you just not be a penguin? That is not jumping. DD, you're ruining the marathon. Don't kill me, bro. I don't want to die a second time. Alright, that's time. What was that? 12:53? So it's still a sub 13, whatever. Good run. Alright. So yeah, that's Kirby's Dream Land Extra Mode. I couldn't get any double hits on DD because, like I said, there's a little bit of rust. I haven't played since SGDQ. So, yeah. I'm gonna let the credits roll out because we are a little bit ahead of schedule. In my opinion, this is, I call it fun mode. Everything's a lot faster. Like, you don't have to, like, it's less chill, but it's more fun. Like, there's more things to do. I would love to see more runs of extra mode. There's already a ton of normal mode, so. Yeah, the penguin has a hammer, but yet decides to dive at me with his head. Makes a lot of sense. Logical. So I guess the lore of Dreamland, if you don't know what the lore is behind this game, the lore is that King DDD stole all the food in Dreamland, and it's up to Kirby to go retrieve it all, you know, and feed the masses which you'll see here at the end of the credits. One little Easter egg of extra mode is that when you beat normal mode, you only get these credits right here of the people that created the game, the designers, etc. In extra mode, you also get a sprite roll call, so we get to see what all the sprites were called, and we get to see DDD cry and walk off the screen at the end. So, but still, a sub 13 for a marathon, nothing to scoff at all. If this was 2 years ago, that would have been about 20 seconds off a world record. Within the last year of this category, myself, Speedman, and Tanuki, a Japanese runner, really took this game to a whole nother level. I got the first sub 12 in this category about a year and a half ago, with a lot of like task improvements, with this understanding just like base movement and how bosses react to certain things like Kirby does. And then from there, Speedman decided to pick up the category after taking record in normal mode, getting the first 11-1X, I think 11-18 or 11-17. And Speedman found a lot more efficiencies in routing with Float Islands and Castle Lolo. And after a few months, this past year, took the record from me in extra mode with like an 1140 something or 1130 something. And then Tanuki, kind of out of nowhere, takes the normal mode record with like an 11-0X, like 1107 or something like that, and came to extra mode and now has like an 1133 in extra mode. Again, and just improving movement throughout every single stage, like understanding how to lag reduce, understanding that when you suck in an enemy, Kirby gets teleported about 2 pixels forward. There's just a lot of like optimizations, like very, very small optimizations that you typically wouldn't see, you know, as a casual watcher of the run. But as a person that's like, as 3 people that invested a lot of time in this game and like done a lot of research of the game, we can see a lot of these ins and outs and see how much time this stuff actually does save. So, shout outs to Speedman and Tanuki for helping push this game further and further down. So, yeah. Shout outs to Kirby, I guess. Am I right? But yeah, like I said, Speedman was originally supposed to run this, but he had some real life stuff pop up, and like I said, I happen to know a little bit about this game, so I decided to hop in quick to keep the gears churning. But yeah, typically SGDQ was supposed to be my last run of this. So yeah, Kirby's gonna see if DDD is okay. There is a config mode. The config mode lets you do some sound testing. It lets you choose how many lives you start with, how much HP you start with. There's a whole thing. It's